All right, it is Tuesday night, and as a wise man once said, we're live, pal. Folks, welcome to episode 10 of Tooney Talk Wrestling. My name is Marvin the Movie Monster. I'm your host, and joining me as always, my all-star panel. First of all, a good friend coming from his strange Batcavey location, the one and only Kevin Apollo. Still in the alternate location, huh?
Yeah, my father, he leaves.
I can't hear a thing.
Uh-oh.
And Aewful apparently can't hear a thing, and he's just talking over.
Put it out there.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. My voice is already like completely.
Oh,
like,
I wish I could hear you guys.
Okay, Aewful is going to be muted now. We are going to mute Aewful because he cannot hear us. Figure it out, Aewful, and then come back. But anyway, so I see you got NXT on in the background there, Kev.
Oh yeah, I should let me move that before we get massacred.
Yeah, I was about to say you're gonna get the entire channel taken down. I don't know what's going on with Aewful, but he came in before and he couldn't hear anything. So anyway, also joining us this week, our one and only friend, Mr. AEW Disciplinary Committee, aka Dis. Hello, good sir.
Hi, I'm exhausted.
You sound like completely exhausted. I know you've been having like a rough couple of days.
Oh
so,
man,
thankful that you're here.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm going on a trip on Thursday. Got a men's retreat for health stuff, but man, 5 hours. That pay-per-view was 5 hours long, guys.
Yes, it was.
Okay, Aewful here.
I guess Aewful can hear us now.
Aewful's back.
Yeah, what's going on, fellas?
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, folks, you heard him interrupting when he couldn't hear everybody and stopped the show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
The one and only, direct from apparently some farm in the countryside next to what appears to be a wash tub with a flame inside of it. Our good friend, Aewful Wrestling. Oh, Lord.
What's happening, fellas? Good evening.
I'm in awe of your makeshift fire pit. You got like the hillbilly. If you turned a wash tub into a fire pit, then you might be Aewful Wrestling.
I love it. Hey, listen, anytime anybody does a super chat, I will throw another piece of wood into that fire.
Oh, well, there you go, folks. So now you have to super chat because you have to allow as the night goes on and the sun comes down, Aewful's going to get pretty chilly out there. So if you guys don't super chat, we may lose him to hypothermia.
I love it.
Okay, so yeah, we've got, you know what, the first time ever we don't have like a ton of topics to talk about because it's really just two big topics. We're talking about King and Queen of the Ring, which some of it will be a bit of a review if you tuned in for our live stream immediately after the PLE, but Dis wasn't there with us, or he was and then wasn't. But anyway, we're going to get some new perspectives on things. We're also going to talk about the AEW media deal or lack thereof. We're going to get a visit from Dr. Dave Schultz, as always, as he takes on the entire country of Canada. And I'm backing the doctor on this one. And then, of course, we will talk about the marathon that was Double or Nothing, where the greatest thing to happen all night was that finally Jack Perry got a little bit of heat. Oh boy! All right, so let's start with the WWE. You know what? We got super chats building up actually, so let's get to those first. Plenty and Pixel
Hey,
on,
let me
our
throw
good
one
friend
on
checking in. Yeah, throw it on. You're gonna have like 7 to throw on here, just so you know.
We're gonna have a bonfire in about 2 minutes.
You might actually have like a raging fire. Like Smokey the Bear might show up and be like, "What the hell?" Only you can piss me off this much. I don't know why Smokey the Bear is like a disgruntled 80s wrestler, but
yeah.
I was walking around first, and I saw this kid, and I was gonna say something to him, but then Kevin Apollo rammed his car into me. My favorite story from last week about Kevin Apollo fighting a bear. That was on Tooney Talk TV. If you guys missed that, it was on Tooney Talk TV.
I was just licking ice cream off Brett's toes, and then Kevin Apollo came off.
All right, Plenty of Pixel checking in with $10. Just want to lead off by saying I was watching the Headlock headlines last night. and my orange cat started swatting Marvin on the TV. Apparently, he's jealous that the other big orange cat can talk. Well, much like a big orange cat, unlike it looks like I'm trying to like this joke is like in my head and it's like having a hot time going from my brain to my mouth. Like,
he's trying, isn't he?
Unlike another big orange cat named Garfield who came in second place this weekend, I came in first in the battle against Plitty and Pixel Arts Cat. All right, John JID 999. There we go. It's gonna be that kind of night. Says the pay-per-view on Sunday was too long. Nothing felt important, but MJF. What does AEW need to do to make stuff feel must-see again? It's becoming missable TV. Oh gosh, is there anything, Kevin Apollo, that can be done to make stuff feel must-see again?
He is very generous to say it's becoming missable TV. So I would tell you it is. For starters, I would have started with not bringing MJF back at the pay-per-view. Nobody already watches your TV. Nobody gets your pay-per-views. So why wouldn't you just tease MJF's return at the pay-per-view and then actually roll it out on TV?
Because he doesn't think like that. Everything has to be this cloak and dagger surprise. Nothing is ever. I know he's the little toad can't hold his load, and it's like, bro, not everything needs to be done here. Not every pay-per-view needs to be a 5-hour extravaganza. The King and Queen of the Ring had what, 5 matches maybe? Was it that much? And this had 10 matches.
Yeah, it was a tight 3. It was great, and then Sunday.
5 hours, too much. It's way too much.
I'm actually, I agree. MJF should have been saved for TV. Tony has this weird backwards thinking where he won't tease surprises on pay-per-views, but he always gives away surprises for TV. And it should be the other way around because you want to tease a surprise for pay-per-view so you can build the buy rate, but you want to have shocking surprises on TV because then people think, well, I can't miss this show. I got to tune in every week. But for some reason, he does it the opposite way. And I guess his thought process is, okay, I'll do the shocking stuff on pay-per-views where people have to pay to see it. So then they buy the pay-per-views, see the shocking stuff. But no one cares enough to pay that much money to see it on the off chance there might be a surprise. But they will give up 2 hours on a Wednesday if there's an off chance there'll be a surprise. But he hasn't surprised us with anything on Dynamite for months because he has to play like big business. They didn't even say somebody was coming in. It was just alluded to in the press. He went off of IWC Talk and then named a show in Boston, big business.
And he was like, remember, he was like, it's in Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So what that did effectively, everybody that already knew now because you said that, but the people that didn't know, that if maybe they saw a graphic that was like, hey, on this show Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks is going to show up, they might have tuned in, but none of them ever heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, going to the original question, there's no overnight thing that's going to make AEW must see again. It's not something that's going to change in a snap. He has to be consistent. It's about being consistent over a long period of time and convincing people that there's a reason to tune into the product. And he's not giving anyone any reason to tune into the product right now because I mean, everything that you want to see on Dynamite, you're going to see on social media 10 minutes afterwards. All their matches are, you know what to expect from an AEW match at this point. You know what to expect from these promos. You know what to expect from, there's no surprises. So why tune in at all? It needs to be consistent. It needs to be an overhaul of the product, and it's going to take a long time.
Honestly, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think, because it didn't work when they did it back then, but it was pretty shocking. I think you got to borrow from that WCW playbook where Bischoff and Russo came out and they essentially told everybody everything's rebooted today.
All titles will be stripped.
All titles will be stripped. And I don't necessarily think you have to strip all the titles, But I say everything that happened before doesn't matter. Today's a new day. Yes, it is. And then you start over. And now this is your chance to actually start incorporating stories into what's going on.
Kevin, I don't disagree with you, but the problem is when Russo and Bischoff did that, they were accepting of the fact that they were problems.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He does not believe that anything is wrong. Everything is great. We're doing the greatest TV we've ever done.
That's scary.
Yep.
Yeah, like, oh my God, everything is so great. Ding.
Yep. Well, and look at his irrational reaction to whatever the tepid deal that was offered to him. He's disappointed with it. Motherfucker, you should be happy. You should be happy they gave you something. We've seen phenomenal products be canceled that perform stronger.
Firefly. Like, where was Joss Whedon complaining about that? I mean, he did. He threw an on-screen tantrum called Serenity, which I'm sure now he wishes he hadn't done because he kills off most of the cast. And like Firefly, I was saying to somebody the other day, Firefly would have been instant Netflix reboot, like or like next season, like bringing it back on a streaming service. But I digress. That's another topic for another time. But yes, it is a whole situation where it's like, okay, well, why would they pay you more money when you've lost half the audience that you started with?
Yep.
Like, we're paying you X amount of dollars to deliver what you started to deliver, and now you're delivering half of that. So why give you more? Look, I get that it's Hollywood. I get that it's a movie studio, and that's typically how things work. The people who wrote Adam Webb got paid more money to write another movie after that. But, it's a little different when you're dealing with sports or, sports, quote unquote.
Yeah, we're in a situation now where these guys have been told by the media, the IWC, that everything is fine, just like you guys said, everything is cool, and then they come up with these egregious statements like they will get a deal with WBD or they will get a deal somewhere down the road. What metric, what sort of anything compels somebody to think that way? There's nothing out there that shows that AEW is going to get a bigger deal outside of the Wrestling Observers or whatever IWC rag you want to choose to look at. It's just an amazing thing to me.
Yeah, 100% agreed. All right. Dis, were you trying to say something about this?
No. All I was going to say was that also what kind of leverage does Tony have when his ratings are going down? And also for the past 2 years, 2 or 3 years, he's done nothing but talk about how he never wants to leave WBD.
Oh yeah. No, there's no incentive to give him more. Like I did it in Headlock Headlines one week where I was basically like his negotiation was him going, please.
Right.
Like I have to be on the network where WCW was.
He thinks those WBD executives think like he thinks, like, oh, if I just bring in enough goodwill, if I just keep kissing WBD's ass, they're going to give me a deal. And it's much, much more than that.
Look, Mr. Zaslav, I understand that I'm not doing, that I'm not bringing in numbers or ad revenue, but look at the banger matches we're having. Have you seen our cage match rankings? Like,
we have potential.
First of all, you're never getting anywhere near David Zaslav, but
right.
That man has far bigger issues to deal with right now, like the collapse of the movie industry and the DC universe as a whole. But by the way, Eastside Reviews, he checked in with the super chat later, but I just wanted to point out this comment that he said, Aewful is getting ready to sacrifice someone for his god. I'm very sure that I'm very sure Grace Randolph appreciates the offering.
I was going to say Sputnik Monroe, but okay.
Yeah. Omega Studios checking in at $5. Thank you so much. Says, hey guys, love the show.
Log.
There you go. Been following Marv since the Jericho song. Have any of you guys been watching Undertaker's YouTube channel? Highly recommended. I catch it here and there, and I love it. Like I always thought that when the Undertaker retired and he started just being Mark Calloway again, like out in public, that I was gonna hate it because I was an Undertaker purist. I hated the American Badass while we had it, and then eventually came around to loving it like after the fact. probably somewhere around the Punjabi prison match. I think I came around to learning it. But the story the other day when Mark Henry was like, "Yeah, they had to send me to Canada because I was going to kill Shawn Michaels in the Click," and Undertaker just starts laughing, and he's like, "The casual ease in which you said that."
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of which, we are definitely sending our thoughts and prayers to our producer today, AEW Neckbeards, who, as many of you probably saw, was inducted into the Hall of Pain today. He gave one of his brilliant satire posts as always, and Mark Henry thought he was serious, and well, apparently, folks, we are going to have to send Mark Henry to Canada so that he does not kill AEW Neckbeards. John JID 999 checking it, says whatever Sexy Red does tonight will be amazing. I got nothing else to add to that. That's probably true.
I have my thoughts about that, but holy shit!
Please,
I mean,
share your thoughts. Share your thoughts.
Personally, as a father, I do not. I mean, what's her? I don't know what they're trying to do with this one. Like, you can see like the Logan Paul angle. You can see what he's going to bring in millions. Okay, Sexy Red's going to bring in millions. I guess I don't fucking know, but I just think it's a bad look. That's just me personally, and I'm not going to delve too far into it. But go ahead.
Where does I don't understand where this happened. This has to do with being a father.
She is part of the porn era of music right now.
Yeah. Thank you,
Cardi
Kev.
B, think that crew, the Cardi B,
but just the worst kind. It's like Cardi B from Temu.
It's legit nothing we can pretend talk about on this show. The outside of the 32-second headline, that's it.
But to be fair, it's NXT. That's kind of their brand. I mean, look at Lola Vice and look at Nikita Lyons and look at the other, women that they're pushing on that show. She fits in perfectly right there, so.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's what they're going for, I mean, I'd like to see what the long-term results of something like this is going to be. That's all. If it's a one-shot deal, then okay, fine.
I think it's a one-shot.
It's no long-term. It's just it's a short. We're gonna pop this, this particular part of the demo. We got a little bit of media attention out of it. When we throw the clips up on TikTok, it's the really whore of the social media. You think she'll be in the ring or a backstage segment? I don't think they would have had enough time to get her in ring ready unless they've been planning this for months. Yeah, but
gotcha.
She'll probably do a little something in the ring.
I think we'll get a slap. Because I think it's going to be a thing with her and Trick and that whole situation that's going on, because that's how this all came about, because those two were kind of going back and forth on social media for a while, and at some point she mentioned that she wants to come to see him, and then they made that happen. So I imagine it'll be something in the ring. Maybe she'll slap Lash or something, something like that.
No matter what happens, it will not be as bad as Sharmell versus Jenna Lewis.
No, or as good. Depending on your
even still, Kev, not our best representation.
No. This is not a shining moment in NXT history.
There are so many jokes to be mined from that, but I won't say any of them.
I will say Jenna Lewis still has one of the greatest pins in the history of professional wrestling. I'll say that. I'm not above that.
better than Jade Cargill licking her arm.
Yeah, better.
Still, I'm like, what are you simulating when you lick your arm? Are you licking is it like a penis?
I think it was a mistake that she made. I think it was a mistake that she made, and she just got to rock with it now. I think she needed to do something, and she was just like, fuck it, I'll just use it.
It was like one of those things that just kind of happens, and you're like, why did I do that? And she went to the back.
Why did I?
Exactly. And Triple H was like, oh my God, that was the greatest thing ever. You have to do that every time.
I got a chubby.
money.
You know what? It might be because it might be like a tweak they made to be like, look, she's just licking her arm. She's not simulating anything. She's just licking her arm. Like in AEW, it was like she was pleasuring a male or something.
Oh, nice.
But
that makes sense.
In WWE, it could be like, if you're gonna stick your tongue out, you gotta lick something because we can't put that on air otherwise.
Right. Rocka checking in with $9.99. Thank you so much. Says for the weenies. I don't know if he's saying we're weenies or if it's just for Aewful to add another log to his fire so that he can roast weenies.
There you go.
Neckbeard said in the chat that every super chat gets a free virtual hot dog. So that
yes.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense.
I thought this was some 4chan code.
East Side Reviews for $2 says, yeah, fire.
Fire.
Plenty of pixel art for $2 says, fire. It's like AEW except fun. But Aewful, is that why you have fire tonight? Like, is this is this like intentionally like because of the Jack Perry situation?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah, we'll rock with that one. We'll rock with that one. I like that.
For a minute, I respected you. I was like, wow, he really was thinking.
I know. No, you're doing the thinking for me on that one.
Hey,
no, absolutely.
I'm going to take a victory lap here. I want to point out we have 2 African-American gentlemen in the chat, and I knew more about Sexy Red than they did.
I got to talk to my daughter on that one.
I'm going to level with the two of you right now. Or with all three of you. I had no idea who Sexy Red was throughout this conversation, and I've been ahhing and nodding along in the hopes that I would look. I literally I asked when She-Hulk aired. I asked Kevin Apollo if Megan Thee Stallion was a Marvel character. So I am not the person to like, especially like with like music. That is the last thing that I know anything about. So,
well, where I live, Marv, Sexy Red looks like 3 bartenders that I know in the little haunting town that I live in. It's just like, oh my goodness, great.
Good
yeah,
Lord.
I'll take a rum and coke.
All right. Now we're gonna go through King and Queen of the Ring pretty quickly because we did cover it on another stream, but I really want to get Dis's take on a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this is gonna be a very Dis like on a night where he's like extremely tired. We're just gonna put him on the spot.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So give us your overall thoughts on the show.
You know what?
What's up, buddy?
I like the show. I'll take the L. I was saying that I thought it was going to be Jay and Tama, and it was the exact opposite. And then I said I thought Randy Orton was going to win, and then it was the exact opposite. But I can't complain about having. I mean, the matches were good, and all the way down the card. The matches were good. I like the show a lot, and it flowed, and it was less than 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And also, did you notice we didn't get the constant like, come to Saudi Arabia, look how beautiful it is.
We got it right in the beginning. Michael Cole was like, man, this is such a great place.
Yeah, but they did like 5 commercials in between last time they were there, and those didn't happen. You didn't get the Jeddah Tourist Committee commercials that we got so many times. So I appreciated that too.
Enjoy the sight of our crystal blue waters and the decapitated crucified corpses to deter you from breaking crimes.
And Sammy got a wonderful moment because he's Sammy and he always gets moments.
Sammy was so over there. It was insane.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they really like him. Okay, so how much of the like them repairing ties with Syria do we credit to Sami Zayn, to the Saudi prince wanting Sami Zayn at his shows?
Quite a bit, actually.
Sami Zayn, world diplomat? I can't believe it.
Like, is it possible that in some way, because he wanted Sami Zayn at the show, he was like, fine, I'll broker peace with another country and a decades-long blood feud among a religious feud, like between the Sunnis and the Shiites? Is that the...
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I knew something.
Good job, Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah. We'll do it live.
One thing I didn't like about the show I'll say.
Okay.
It seems like they're back to putting the dignitaries up in the first 3 rows. And they stopped doing that for a couple shows, and it made for much better television. But if you watch the first like 3 rows, it's all people who, it's like half of them don't care about anything, and the other half are kids who are holding their fingers up to be on TV. You can tell they're not fans. It was nice.
You also had about like 15 of the wrestlers that just weren't on the show.
Yeah,
like
LA Knight was just
LA Knight
showed up.
sitting in the front row. You had that line of women in the very front row, like right on, like with the hard cam directly looking at them, I guess to just show like, look, we let women do things here.
And what's funny is when you got a shot of the other side, the hard cam side, it was all dudes wearing the white robes, and like that's all it was up front. It's like they they picked out, okay, you have kids, go on this side, you have women, go on this side, and then they took all the dudes, all the dignitaries, and put them. But regardless, it's just, you could see it. It was funny because like 3 rows in, people were standing up, cheering, doing the chants, but the first 3 rows, they didn't care about anything that was going on the entire time.
And I love that every time they showed like the wrestlers in the crowd, there was always like one kid that like tried to like bum rush the camera.
Yeah,
you got to see like you got to see like security grab him and like pull him aside.
But anyway, that was one little nitpick, but overall, I like the show.
We got those pictures of like the roster like on some beach, and like the women, like Bianca and them and Jade, they were like in bikinis, and I was like, how is this? How, like, I didn't think that was allowed.
They were very clearly on a very private beach.
Yes. Because a very, very private beach.
It was WWE Fire Festival was going on over there.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, so now King Gunther, we all kind of called it. Dis, what were your thoughts on that?
I really like the Orton having his shoulder up thing.
Okay, you think that was the like you think that was a thing that they specifically did?
Orton is a vet. There's no way that happens unless, like, Orton, if that wasn't supposed to happen, Orton would have kicked out at that.
I don't know. I feel like if that was supposed to happen, it would have been a better camera angle of it.
Oh, the first camera angle was fantastic. The first camera angle, you could
you couldn't ignore the first camera angle.
Yeah, and then they replayed that camera angle, like, not immediately after the match, but then later when they were talking about it again, they replayed the original camera angle where it was like 6 inches off the mat. It makes sense, because what this does is that this gives it to where you can get out of the Gunther title match if you want, but you can give Orton a title match too. And that's the important part. Say, okay, you know what? Gunther keeps the King of the Ring, the crown. He's King of the Ring. But let's do a rematch to see who gets that title match, because Orton Cody makes way more sense than Gunther versus Drew or Damian Priest at SummerSlam. Yeah. Like, that's just, if you're going to do a Gunther title match, why are you doing it when you have Bash at Berlin right there? Like, why do it at SummerSlam? It's the next pay-per-view is Bash in Berlin. So, I think the whole thing is planned. And because if it wasn't WWE, look at the way they handled Gable and Sammy. Gable's shoulder was clearly off the mat. Everyone noticed it. It went viral, and they didn't say a word about it. But this one they called out and they said, we're doing a rematch.
Okay. So, do you think that they're going to use this to like, we didn't want to give Randy the King of the Ring because he didn't need it, but we need something to bounce him up I mean, I don't think you need an excuse to bounce Randy Orton into a title match. I think he's the kind of guy that you can put in any title match anytime.
You need an excuse to get him to Cody, because I don't think there's another way.
I think the excuse is that he's a 13-time world champion,
right?
And Cody Rhodes is the world champion.
But with his current character, I mean, look about how he talks about Kevin Owens with his friend, like how protective this version of Randy Orton is of people that he cares about. It'd be hard to see this Randy Orton go after Cody Rhodes. But if he's got the title match because of the King of the Ring, that gives him a reason. And then, of course, he can snap in the meantime and become a heel. So that,
But couldn't he snap at any time? I mean, couldn't he have lost clean to Gunther made Gunther obviously that much more of a superstar, and been pissed about the loss, and goes into the dark place and the whole thing. Like
he could have, but this extends the Cody program, because you do the first match face versus face, and then he loses, and then
he loses and he turns. Yeah, he snaps. And
then you get more. And you get 2 or 3 more matches out of it.
Punch him in the head, and
yeah. That's how I see it.
But all that because he lifts his shoulders up off the mat. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he should have taken the clean pin if this was planned or whatever. But, take the clean pin, and then, slowly, that's your catalyst. That's your inciting incident for Randy Orton going a little darker.
That would have been good. Honestly, or don't do the rematch with Gunther and have the shoulder off the mat. Do the shoulder off the mat and have that be the thing that makes him go crazy.
I would have had the identical twin of the referee come out from under the ring and be like, hey, and then Randy Orton going, how much did they pay for the plastic surgery, brother?
I would have had Kevin Owens run out with a flamethrower. Okay.
And light his legs on fire, but
he's
then
going after Gunther. Gunther dives, or Gunther drives a bus out of the way, and then
just make it as ridiculous as possible.
So you would never see anything like that in professional wrestling. I can't imagine.
No, of course not. And you know what? Like, about the fire thing, everyone's like, "Oh, well, what about the Inferno match?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the Inferno match was literally." First of all, is it a ridiculous concept? Yes, it is. But without Undertaker and Kane's entire feud was built around a fire.
Yeah. And that's 2 people agreeing to get in the ring of fire. That's not 4 people that are fighting a match and then somebody whips out a freaking flamethrower.
It's not a baby face with a flamethrower trying to murder a human being.
A flamethrower is criminal assault. And it's like
got a gun at that point.
Listen, I love the history of the territories and why the NWA had to be formed, and it plays a large part into why the South, and the West Coast were so into it, and it's because everything that we grew up seeing, people jumping over the barricade and beating up wrestlers in the middle of the match, wrestlers getting attacked in their homes, wrestlers being forced off the road and robbed, that shit that all happened before they all got together and said, we need to figure this out. They were storming shows and breaking people's legs. They were jumping people in the parking lot. They were it made Biggie versus Tupac look like Teletubbies. So when you see stuff like this happen in wrestling, it's because this shit actually happened. No one's walking around with a flamethrower and trying to murder someone on TV. It's why I always laugh at when they say, I'm gonna kill you. You just told 3 million people that if this man
made a deadly threat
tomorrow, you did it. So it's like it's the goofiest shit. And if we didn't do it in 98, 99, or 2000, it's because it was too stupid for either of the Vinces to want to do.
Yeah, it's indie wrestling, awful indie wrestling stuff. There was a guy who used to work locally that I knew from the indie scene where I was, and he moved across the country, and then he started making headlines everywhere. And I'm going to give away who it is at some point because there's bound to be people who've heard about this. But he ended up booking an I Quit match where he won by holding a gun to the guy's head. You've killed the match. The I Quit match means nothing at that point because if you want to win, all you got to do is hold a gun to somebody's head and it's over. It's stupid wrestling indie crap that you do, and unfortunately they have a TV outlet.
Would it be cool if we did this thing? No, dweeb, it wouldn't be because you kill it for everything. Where do you go from here? Because that's basically all right. So we set Jack Perry on fire, and somehow he still won the match. I'll give you this: if either of the Vinces set someone on fire, they would have been gone for a minimum of 4 months.
But remember when Triple H dressed as Goldust and shot Kane with the fire bazooka?
Yeah.
But here's the difference: Kane was out. Like that, it wasn't in a match. And so now here's the thing: I can get behind the fire. There's been fire in wrestling since the days of the Texas Death Match, the flaming branding iron, whatever. You go, but here's the thing: Tommy Dreamer, Mick Foley, Edge. You go through the flaming table. That's it. That's the finish. You don't get back up.
Jerry Lawler,
the Fiend. The fire is the ultimate. Like, fire is what stops you. Now, you're telling me this 90-pound son of a celebrity, Hollywood little douchebag gets lit on fire, and 5 minutes later, he's up and hitting a running knee for the pin?
Yeah.
No.
Jerry Lawler throws a fireball in Eddie Gilbert's face, and Eddie Gilbert goes missing for 3 months. Okay.
Right.
So here's the thing. This is ever since Mick Foley fell off the Hell in a Cell, I've come up with a word for it. I call it rescalation, because it's in wrestling, you do something huge, but now the problem is you now have to top it. And we have gone from Mick Foley coming off the cell to the point where we are now, where people are hitting each other with cars. But now they're kicking out of it. They're continuing to no-sell it and kick out of it. The steel steps, that used to be a finisher. It's not anymore. Orange Cassidy's up 2 seconds later and throwing hands. What do you have to do now to put down these 110-pound string beans?
That's what made me really mad about AEW, is because WWE went too far during the Attitude Era, and they pulled it back, and they got it to a point where it was acceptable that we didn't have to have these ridiculous bumps and crazy spots to end matches.
Someone just pointed out in the chat also, Cactus Jack and Terry Funk with the fire in ECW almost burned down the ECW arena when when the flaming towel came off the chair and like hit the guy. Plenty of Pixelot checking in $5. Thank you so much. Says, I'd say the flamethrower was jumping the shock, but I feel like at this point they're trying to backflip big rigs over a blue whale. That's the perfect way to put it. It is.
I'll give you this though. When the Fonz jumped the shark, we still had like 5 seasons to go.
Yeah. But now tell me something. Like here's my thing always, like with Hollywood also. I remember when the September 11th movie came out. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. And it was like Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage and I remember my dad saying, I don't want to see that. And I said, why? And he goes, because Nicolas Cage in real life would be the last person to run into the World Trade Center after the plane hit. He'd be the first person running away from it. And I can't bring myself to believe that he would. And that was what I thought about Jack Perry. You're telling that if that little dweeb got set on fire, you think he's getting back up? No, he's not. And who did they light on fire? Sting. Remember when Sting got lit on fire in the Human Torch match?
Well, so Sting falls off of the Tron on fire. He's gone for 5 months, and when he comes back, he is from head to toe covered because he's still selling burns. So you didn't have actual proper Sting for almost a whole year again, and off of a dumbass fire spot.
For people who haven't seen the spot, let's specify that Sting disappeared for like 30 seconds and then another Sting appeared and got set on fire. It was a terrible
it was the stuntman that jumped off the thing.
And Sting was wearing a Power Ranger suit from head to toe the entire time.
He looked like a woman wrestling in Saudi Arabia.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Shaggy Filth 73 checking in with $10 says, is it rescalation or is it kids not honoring the art and practice of selling? It's also an irresponsible booker. You're supposed to protect athletes from themselves. Normally I am of the mentality of adults can do what adults are going to do, but not when it's your television show. You have to stop them at some point. Like when Foley fell off the cage, the next month you didn't see, somebody else falling off of an even bigger cage because Vince said to Mick, I appreciate what you did tonight, but I never want to see it again. Because it was legitimately scary. He almost died.
Yeah, you can't top it.
But look, I love Mick Foley. I think Mick Foley is a fantastic wrestler and human being. However, I do blame Mick Foley for a lot of the rescalation that happened because kids and people watching him.
He blames himself too. he's come
He
out
does,
and
yeah, I
said,
know.
yeah. So it's a fair criticism.
Even though again, it was a different time. The 90s were a different time. But we've had a lot of opportunity to kind of self-reflect and go, oh yeah, we shouldn't do things that way. Listen, you got to remember, in 99, concussions weren't really a thing yet.
Yeah.
You got your bell rung.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so it's like the mentality is different. We're doing this today. And even then, we're trying to apply logic to a situation where it doesn't exist. This wasn't done, for like some big wrestling stunt. This was done because someone said it would be cool if this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the shot of Tony rolling down the ramp.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
save that. Let's save that.
Yeah. That wasn't on TV. That wasn't on TV, right? Like the Tony thing.
I mean, the rolling down the ramp was, but not.
Was it? I thought that was a fan cam.
Where like you could tell that he fell or whatever. Well, the fan cam part was when he immediately got up and ran to the back. That I don't.
So they showed that idiot rolling down the ramp. I don't remember that.
So it was.
I mean, they showed him get hurt. I know, like they didn't show him go to all the.
The thing is, he's completely incapable of doing like human being things. Like everything from him falling down a ramp to him drinking a bottle of water is awkward.
Yeah.
Also, John JID 999 checking in says also Darby hanging with Martha in the building. WTF? What Martha was he hanging out with? Was it Martha Hart was there?
Martha Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he was like, I'm hanging out with Martha, and then Ben Affleck was like, Martha, why did you say that name?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
I'm really surprised.
Did you watch the show, Marv?
No, I wanted you guys to tell me about
Good
it.
for
I
you.
wanted to react to the things. Look, at the end of the day, I'm saying that's the reason why. Honestly, I just did not want to watch it. Like, I was like, I'm gonna let the other guys watch it, and I'll I'll eventually watch clips of it. But I was not spending money on that. Like, not yet.
Right.
I'll tell you this: there's really only about 5 things worth talking about on that show.
Okay.
Like for as long as it was, it meant nothing for most of the 5-hour runtime. It was just
right. I understand that.
This, you saw the show, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Did you see? I mean, after the
well, I mean, we're moving. We were still on the King and Queen of the Ring here. Like, hold on.
Sorry.
We got a few more super chats. Eastside Review says, honestly, you can put a lot of Mick Foley, the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian for helping escalate this shit too far. Yes, I agree. Mick Foley started it, and then you had the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian doing the ladder matches and the TLC matches, and that gave us the modern indies.
And the other thing too is that you had the birth of sharing videos online. So you had things like the New Jack fall in XPW.
Right.
Or the New Jack throw in XPW. Victor Grimes.
No, you know what? I think it goes back even further than this. I think you can trace all of this back to the Tupelo concession stand match. It was ahead of its time.
Well, I'm
telling you, God said, let there be light and a Tupelo concession stand match.
I definitely remember in early days of video sharing, going on LimeWire and downloading bump compilations and trying to find the Japanese deathmatch tournaments and stuff like that, because it was an underground, like it's a naughty.
That's true. A lot of this stuff did start in Japan, and then like Mick brought it from Japan.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Pogo,
tape
Leatherface,
traders, like, in the Bryan Danielson era, those guys were all tape traders, and like that, they watched things like the King of the Deathmatch tournament, or like those crazy matches, and the Tupelo concession stand match. I'm telling you. People were like, wrestling usually belongs in the ring. But here I am, sitting here as the day is long in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I'm watching the Honky Tonk Band fighting in a concession stand. What is happening right now? I don't know what's going on anymore. And that's how hardcore wrestling was created. There'd be no hardcore wrestling without the Honky Tonk Man and the Tupelo concession stand match. Watch any Honky Tonk Band shoot interview, guys. This is the conversation that goes down. I'm pretty sure like the RF video, like Honky Tonk Band shoot, like back in the day, they open with the Tupelo concession stand match. Like they show the match
Well,
just so that you know what he's talking about.
Right.
Like after that point,
As a reference.
It's gonna come up a lot. Yeah, like you have to. Oh God. Palladium Pixel Arts. I want to know if Marv could do a Paul Heyman voice. My Paul Heyman voice is not much different than Bruce Pritchard's. Like
he did it earlier.
You see, good sir.
Yeah,
Like
you did it earlier when you were acting like your Tony Khan talking to WBD voice was just Paul Heyman. Really?
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, I mean, guys, that's the voice that I do that I then modulate to make Tooney Khan. Oh my goodness. Producer AEW Neckbeard said he drank with the Honky Tonk Man. I wonder if he brought the Tupelo concession stand match.
Best thing I ever heard, best tip I've ever heard from a wrestler was a wrestler named Outcast in St. Louis. And it was like my third show, and he was out and he was drinking a Busch, and I was 16. And he goes, "You want some?" And I go, "Nah, I can get in trouble by doing that." And he goes, "Oh, okay. When you get old enough, drink Busch, put some salt in it." Best tip any wrestler ever gave me.
Bush beer was so my uncle used to drink Bush beer, and so my grandmother always had it like in a house because my uncle said that he could drink it and drink it and drink it and never get hungover. So yeah, now it's every once in a while, just to like remember my grandma's house, I would drink a Bush beer. So maybe the next time I get a Bush beer, I'll put a little salt in it.
You know, it improves it. It does improve it. It is true.
So you held on to that from like the age of 16 until whatever age you started drinking beer.
Yep. Oh, I mean, that was 16 until 16.
2 years later.
Yeah,
Right.
Like the following week.
It was until I got home and went to the refrigerator.
Not me, boys. I was a good kid.
I know, such a square.
Well, I mean,
No, dude,
I
I was quiet and shy and like terrified. Like I was like Ben Wyatt from Parks and Recreation, like to a T.
Oh
like,
shit.
Up to and including being terrified of the police. Like, which is why people were like, "Oh, you want to hit a pot?" And I was like, "No, no," because I was convinced the second it touched my lips, a cop car, woo!
Because you're 3 foot tall and you have 5-inch long hair. Of course you.
You're telling me her ex-boyfriend is a cop who has a gun? Like, I love that. Ben Wyatt is one of my favorite characters in all fiction. But yes, okay. So Nia Jax, Queen of the Ring, disciplinary committee. What did you think about the match itself and Nia going over?
Man, that was good. That was a good match. I thought that it leveled up Lyra in defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Because she really held her own in there, and that shot with her trying to powerbomb Nia off the top rope, that's going to be iconic.
Yeah,
if Lyra keeps going. That's a beautiful shot. But I love this new thing where if it's a really small girl, the first thing they do after Nia is just run into her as fast as they can.
Just bounce off of her.
Yeah. And Lyra did it like 10 times. Like she just like put her head down and ran at her like a bull, like she was Mantar, and just took after her.
It was a Womanta. It was a fantastic David and Goliath match.
Yeah.
It was classic. And I agree with you. I said on a stream the other day, I felt that like Lyra winning the match and winning Queen of the Ring would have been too much too soon, but Lyra getting to the finals and shaking Nia Jax, but then still losing clean helped her.
Yeah,
it put her on the match.
Yeah.
I like the way they're doing this with Go ahead.
I was say, get over versus going over.
Yeah. I like what they're doing with this round of NXT call-ups, where they're getting competitive against these guys, but they don't automatically think they have to win all the time. Yep. You know, they're doing this thing where it's like, well, there's still more, Ricochet is still more experienced or something like that, to where you can have these guys be competitive, but not necessarily have to win. And that was the problem with like Johnny Gargano and when they called those guys up, is that for the first few months, they were just winning every match and being shoved down our throats like they were main eventers already, because they were that way in NXT. They're introducing these people slowly and giving us reasons to believe they can do it. as opposed to just assuming that we know them already. It's a much better way of introducing them, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Shaggy Felt 73. Thank you so much for $2. This quiet shy guy makes a Tooney wrestling show. Adds up. Yeah, it's always the quiet ones.
That's how it goes. Yeah, exactly.
It's always the quiet ones. The people that are like boisterous and loud, like the class clown, they don't go on to do anything. They peaked in high school. It's the ones that hold on to all the internalized rage,
Right,
and then
wait for the right age. Right.
Yep. And you channel it into bitter, self-deprecating humor.
Sounds like me.
I can get us out of King and Queen of the Ring pretty quick.
Okay.
Because the only I thought Becky and Liv was Becky and Liv. It's exactly what you expected. That was kind of the slow point of the show for me. I'm not a Liv fan, so
me neither.
And Cody and Logan was what I wanted it to be, right? I thought they put on a good show. There wasn't a lot of room for expansion after the match was as good. They closed it. It's over. You're not going to see a rematch anytime soon. But it was a good match. And that's all you got that shot of Logan on the ropes with the drone going above. So they got their viral thing. And
hey, you know what? That drone thing, I hope they keep using that. That was pretty cool.
They do it in the Saudi shows. They did it at Mania. I'm guessing it's gonna be like the 8K camera where they pull it out for big stuff. You
do it for some. Hey, how do we feel about the fact that SummerSlam in 2026 is moving to a 2-day event?
Love it.
Yeah, you know what? But part of me, like the conspiracy theorist in me, and that I've seen other people say this as well, they're like, oh, they're getting us ready for the fact that WrestleMania in 2026 is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Probably. Or I don't know about Saudi Arabia, but I
really hope. Overseas. Look, I do not want it should not be there in WrestleMania. I don't think so. I don't get me wrong. I like the middle of the day PLEs. I really enjoy the time in which they air. Like the Australian one when I have to wake up at 5 a.m. wasn't great, but 1 p.m. for a wrestling show, man, I'm there for that.
You know why? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
No, go ahead. I was done.
You know why I really like it is that WrestleMania isn't going to be in Missouri. Okay. WrestleMania isn't going to be anywhere.
Not with that attitude, it won't.
It's not. What, they're going to put it in the Dome in St. Louis. They're going to put in it's not going to. But you know what? SummerSlam's in Minneapolis. That's about 10 hours from me. We can drive to SummerSlam. We can make that. It's been rough living out in the middle of nowhere recently because they don't do as many house shows. They're doing more pay-per-views overseas, which means all we really have are going to be Raws and SmackDowns that are 4 to 6 hours away from us. And who wants to drive 4 to 6 hours for a Raw or a SmackDown that is going to be half commercials? You give me a 2-night pay-per-view that I can drive 8 hours to. Absolutely, I'll go to it.
Yeah, and it's probably worth getting a hotel room for the night.
Yeah,
especially if it's on a Saturday and there's no, it's the next day's a Sunday. I get that.
It gives us more. It gives us more of an opportunity to see these big shows live. Which I mean, and for most people, it's not a big deal. But when you have a kid, he wants to see these big shows.
But now here's my fear. I don't want WrestleMania and SummerSlam being 2 nights. I'm okay with that. If this goes to now the Royal Rumble is 2 nights, now Survivor Series is 2 nights, that I'm not going to be happy.
Overload. Overload.
They've been prepping SummerSlam to be WrestleMania-esque for the better part of the last 8 years. So it only makes sense that they would pull the trigger on it. Also, too, like you said, they're getting us prepped so that when they go overseas to tackle the overseas markets, eventually, yes, Europe is going to get WrestleMania. It's inevitable. They're going to do it. So it's everybody's got to kind of suck it up and kind of just roll with it. Because they have to go to where the money is. The other part of it too is I was saying, at this rate, how long before the WWE just buys the rights to Wrestle Kingdom and makes it a 3-day event?
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Rumble is interesting because to me that actually makes more sense to be 2 nights because having 2 Rumbles in one night gets a little bit.
It is a bit much.
I'm not saying to do it now. I'm saying I'm surprised they picked SummerSlam over the Rumble to go 2 nights first.
It was always gonna be SummerSlam. SummerSlam has always been the second biggest show.
Right.
The Rumble is like an add-on to WrestleMania, in my opinion. I've always felt that the Rumble and Backlash are like they bookend WrestleMania, even though you have Elimination Chamber in the middle there. But like those are like the Rumble is where we start all the things that are going to lead into WrestleMania, and Backlash is where we kind of like finish everything out. But
I think if SummerSlam runs in 2026 for 2 days, I think you're going to have to cut back on at least 2 of those pay-per-views that are in like the springtime, summertime. You got to get, I mean, if you're going to have the same amount of pay-per-views plus a 2-day SummerSlam, you're asking for a lot. I mean, that's,
I think
for me, it's overload.
I think the non-Big Four PLEs, how many of them we see, is going to be purely determined now on places bidding and how bad they want WWE. I think they'd be willing to go up to 12 non-Big Four PLEs and go 16 a year if they can get money off of it, because that's what they are now. Uh-huh. They're a traveling show that wants people, and you see now they're having people bid in for they're trying to get cities to bid for Raw and SmackDown and make those paid shows. That was a story that came out this week. And if they can do it, more power to them, you know. But I think that's where we're going. I think we're going that route where you're going to get it's already every PLE outside of the Big Four are outside of America. Even Money in the Bank is in Toronto, you know. So America only gets the Big Four now.
Yeah.
And
I don't mind that. I like that they're branching out into other countries. I like that we're kind of taking WWE on a more global scale, and I like getting PLEs at different times of the day. You know, that's the long and short of it. I'm for this. I think it's interesting that they're announcing it 2 years in advance.
Yeah. That's placating Minnesota. That's placating Minneapolis because they were so close to getting WrestleMania. Yeah. And I think WWE led them on to believe they were going to get WrestleMania next year. Next year. And then all of a sudden they shifted to Vegas. So they had to throw them a bone. They had to do something, you know.
John J. Ideen.
That bid wasn't. I'm sorry. I was saying that bid wasn't enormous though from Vegas.
Yeah.
You kind of had to.
I'm sure. John J. ID 999 checking in with another super chat. $2. Thank you so much. What do y'all think about the Liv Dom kiss to end Raw? Yo, you mean when Liv Morgan commits sexual assault? No, it was fine. I like where they're going with it. I'm for the first time I'm actually kind of interested in what they're doing with Liv. Because I like the idea of her just trying to take, like, Rhea comes back and Liv now has the women's title and Dominic. I think that's kind of cool.
Old school wrestling. That's what it is.
What did you think of Dominic's trepidation towards the whole thing?
I thought I was like, come here, baby doll. Like Dominic is baby doll right now. If you think about it.
So does that mean that Rhea's gonna slap Dominic and Liv is gonna come back? Don't you ever put your hands on my dom.
Exactly.
Someone called Liv Hogan, and all I could think is that Liv had lust in her eyes for Dom.
She had lust in her eyes. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Liv. I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed the angle. I enjoyed what they're doing with it. I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm interested. Rhea Ripley, when she comes back, is gonna be the biggest female babyface that has ever lived.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like
it's gonna be great.
The arenas are gonna shake for this woman. It's gonna be
China.
huge.
She's China and she's Trish and she's Becky, all wrapped into this one gothy Australian package, and it's gonna be insane.
It's the power of the muscle mommy.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's a China that could work.
Oh yeah.
And if this was 20 years ago, she'd be wrestling guys.
And is actually attractive. I'm sorry, China, but
there's only so much plastic in the world, guys. You know, rest in power.
Hurtful. I'm sorry, that's very hurtful.
Oh my God, your
remember
China voice is insane. If I ever made like a China puppet to like haunt Trip on Tooney Town Wrestling, it's got to be you, just like doing the voice.
I like
blowing.
This might be a little controversial, but I think it's a little crazy that all the anti Triple H, anti WWE crew has kind of taken China on and held her up as like their bastion of like, why isn't she in the Hall of Fame? Do you remember China's last like 15 years of life?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she wasn't exactly a pillar of the community at that point.
But who did not love seeing her on the Surreal Life though? Like when X-Pac showed up and he was like, Jody, like he was Marlon Brando and Stella.
How about her in TNA where somehow Karen Angle out wrestled her?
I don't remember her in TNA. You know what? I vaguely remember her in TNA.
She teamed.
He
with
was
Kurt
in
Angle.
TNA.
She teamed with when Kurt and Jeff were having the feud. She teamed with Kurt Angle against Jeff and Karen, and this was before before.
Oh yes, the year was it like in like the same year that we got Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita. We also got Kurt Angle's Karen Angle, and Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a little later.
It might have been a little later. I don't know. I mean, look, it didn't get anywhere near the same amount of buzz, but it did. Jeff Jarrett was actually punished for it though. Like he was sent home for a while by Dixie Carter. But Edge.
Man, that was a good feud, though. Take away that match, that Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett feud, man. They knew how to do business with each other. That's
what Jeff Jarrett stealing. This is gonna sound terrible. Jeff Jarrett stealing Kurt Angle's wife in real life was like the best thing he could have done to revitalize his career. Because you remember, like after Jeff's wife passed away, he came back. And he got all this babyface heat from the crowd, like sympathy heat, because his wife had passed away. And it was like really tragic. And, like he came in and then all of a sudden, like he like wanted more of the babyface heat. So he just kind of kept hopping on the wife thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's not turn this into a thing. Like I may be remembering it wrong, but in my head, it was my wife's dead. Cheer for me.
Yeah. No, it was for a while. And
yeah, it was weird.
Let's not, I mean, Jeff Jarrett gets a very bad rap for that situation, but Kurt Angle wasn't exactly a great husband at that point.
I'm sure he wasn't.
You got to remember, like, Kurt Angle, first of all, Jeff Jarrett probably saved Kurt Angle's life by stealing Karen away from him, because they were the Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston equivalent of wrestling couples. Like they were high out of their minds. I'll try to find it. There is a interview where Angle talks, and Karen's with him, and they're talking about the Daniel Puder situation. And in the video, like Kurt's like, yeah, well, you know what? If we had dude over again, I would have broken his neck and took a dump on his chest. And then Karen gets like, I would have done it too. We would have taken shits in his chest together. Yeah, baby. And I'm like, this is like the cringiest fucking whiskey tango shit I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
As an Olympian. But like, that's where we were with the two of them.
Yeah,
so,
and I heard, and this is just hearsay, but I definitely heard stories about how Jeff and Karen became closer because Kurt stopped going to creative stuff and sending Karen in his place. And Jeff was communicating with Karen more than Kurt. And then that's how they kind of became something, because Kurt was off. Who knows what Kurt was doing at that? That was 100% the height
drugs.
Of Kurt Angle.
Drugs is the answer to that question.
And Raka Khan also. We can't forget that.
Kurt Raka Khan.
Oh man. God. And then she sued The Rock. Remember?
Yes.
For kidnapping her children.
But she sued The Rock?
She sued The Rock. She sued Home Depot. She sued
what? What did The Rock do? What did Home Depot do?
No, she accused them all of kidnapping her children.
The Rock kidnapped Karen Angle's children?
The Rock and Home Depot and
Raka Khan. Okay.
No. Raka Khan had a lawsuit against The Rock and Home Depot and like Elon Musk and a bunch of other people stating that they did a conspiracy to steal her children from her. That is true. You can look that up.
God.
When there were people on X using that against The Rock, saying, "Oh, he's a kidnapper." Like, are you kidding me?
It's like using the
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was one of them too. Michael Jordan was listed in.
Everyone's just trying to steal Rocket Khan's children.
Yes.
Yeah.
of a drug.
Perry King, $5. Thank you so much. Says, doesn't the PLA streaming contract come due soon, sweetening the pot? I believe it does. I think they've got like another like year or two, like with Peacock before. But I'm pretty sure once the Peacock deal ends, it's gonna go right to Netflix. I don't think we're gonna have to like wonder very much because Netflix already has everything. It has it like everywhere else.
Yeah, 2026 is when it's up.
2026. Okay, cool. Let's see. Alt Jake checking in says on headphones that China impression was horrifying. Oh my god. What is this power you have over me? Christopher Torres said, glad you like the stop, drop, and roll meme I made on X. Yes, he made an amazing meme. It was Jack
that was
Perry
awesome.
it was Jack Perry on fire. And it was a guy yelling, stop, drop, and roll. And then the next photo was Tony Khan rolling down the ramp. It was like, not you, idiot. I laughed so hard I cried when I saw that. Hold on one sec. Okay. Michael Dodd checking in, $5 says, breaking news, Jordan Grace versus Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground, title for title.
Oh, man. That's all.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
Man, they're really working with TNA now. Wow. Tripp is like really sticking to his word on this one.
So it wasn't, okay, clarification, chat. It wasn't Tegan Knox because that was the big rumor was that it was going to be Tegan Knox. So I'm assuming by this it wasn't Tegan Knox. But anyway,
that's not what Michael Dodd is saying. And he paid $5 to say his thing. You paid nothing, Tis. So I'm going to
Family Feud X.
Yeah. John JID 999 for $2 says she also sued Jim Cornette. He's talked about it. I think the only thing more crazy than this story is was it Lauren Boebert who said that one of the members of the Midnight Express was her father or something like that?
Yeah, there was a chance that he was her father, and then she finally got the paternity test done.
Is that really that crazy?
Yeah,
I mean, Stanley.
Given where we were. Given where we were in the country and the height of their fame and the state of the rat economy.
Was it Bobby Eaton?
I hope not.
No. It was was it Condrey?
Condroy. Yeah.
Oh
no, it was Stan Lane. It was Stan Lane.
Oh no, Stan Lane? Okay.
It was Sweet Stan Lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm like, given the state of the rat economy,
state of the rat economy.
I never told you that story about Tracy Smothers teaching everybody about the rat economy.
No, but real quick, I will say I just looked at it. It said Stan Lane had taken a paternity test prior, and I guess Lauren Boebert's mother did not believe it. And then he took a second one, and finally Lauren Boebert believed it. But could you imagine how like infuriated Jim Cornette would be if a member of the Midnight Express like spawned one of like the big Republican senators?
Oh my God!
Oh, John Cornette would be ripping his hair out. Yeah. Kevin, what about the Radical?
Do this to me,
Kevin. What? I cannot believe from the loins of the Midnight Express. Well,
Lord,
tell us about Tracy Smothers.
You couldn't give me like, I don't know, a Rubio? You gave me
Kevin, tell us about Tracy Smothers and the rat economy.
So Tracy Smothers used to explain to guys when you go out, it's like when you go to town, you just can't go around jumping on everything in sight. Your job is to meet a girl, and then that girl goes to get her girls. And when you come back through town, now there's 4 girls. Now there's 4 girls for 4 guys. And then those 4 guys become friends with them, and those 4 girls come back with 8 more girls. Now there's 16 girls for all the boys. All the boys are living good. But what happens is you can't get greedy. Once you got that one girl in this town, you can't go jump on another girl, because once that one girl's gone, they're all gone. That's how the right economy works. This is not hard, boys.
Oh my God! Could you imagine Tracy Smothers with like a financial analyst show, but about the rat economy?
I love Tracy Smothers so much.
Now Philadelphia is way up right now. ECW might not have done a lot for the local Philadelphia financial economy, but it did a hell of a lot for the rat economy.
Tracy Smothers and Balls Mahoney are my 2 favorite wrestlers just to talk to. I love those. Tracy Smothers is fantastic. I got to talk to him about 3 or 4 times, just like during intermissions and stuff. Not by the ringside though, where you go on the side and have the real conversations. And he's such a good man. He's so open, and he teaches you stuff about wrestling that you're not going to learn in wrestling school.
Like the rat economy. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Some schools might teach the rat economy.
I have one more Tracy Smothers story.
Hold on. East Side Reviews said it's official. WWE put it on the Twitter. The Jordan Grace.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Go ahead, Kevin. One more Tracy Smothers story before we get to Dr. D. Dave Schultz.
There's this wrestler named Danny Fernand. This is when he was down in OVW. All the OVW guys are out of the bar, and like they see this girl, and like Danny just can't stop laughing because she looks so much like Tracy Smothers. So he finally gets convinced to go walk up to her and have a conversation with her. And then if you ever knew Inferno, he could be like just like alpha level fucking ball buster. So like there wasn't much he was not willing to say. He walks over and goes, "Listen, I don't mean to be rude, but you look like Tracy Smothers," and starts laughing hysterically. She goes, "Well, that's because that's my daddy."
Oh no. That's my daddy.
That's my daddy.
Oh no.
That's so funny. That's so funny because at an indie show I went to one time, he cut a promo and there was a younger girl wrestler, and he kept saying, you might be my daughter. I don't know."
Oh no. That's like Rockin' Rebel being like, "Shut up, kid, I could be your father." Remember when JBL like pummeled the Blue Meanie at One Night Stand, and then like Tracy Smothers like made it his like he it was like in a video game where you like mock the boss like for death, and like you have like the big like come on. I'm like, you would die a horrible death in this situation. Oh, and then he'd watch you in the shower afterward. Oh wait, no, that was Michael Hayes.
Michael Hayes.
JBL would do something worse to you in the shower than Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes would just sit there and watch.
Okay. Before we stop talking about Tracy Smothers, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that he was my favorite member of the FBI.
Oh, my favorite line ever. I think it was at One Night Stand where he was like, Little Guido. Joey Styles was like, Little Guido and Big Sal are actually Italian, but Tracy Smothers cannot find Italy on a map.
I love Tracy Smothers.
I love Joey Styles.
Oh well, yeah.
Can we talk for a second about the line that I'm pretty sure has been cut out of all future like replays of One Night Stand when Mike Awesome does the dive and Joey Styles goes, "It's a shame he didn't succeed." And then like a couple years later, we saw what happened. I'm just trying not to say the word because we'll get demonetized.
Even a couple years later, wasn't it like a year later?
You know what? That is the best match ever. If you have the One Night Stand, DVD that had the alternate JBL commentary track on it, which is literally they just put a camera on JBL all night and just like put his commentary track over the entire show. It is he is amazing during the Mike Awesome Masato Tanaka match.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's just screaming, kick out, like, but he's doing it like mean, like in a mean spirited way. Like you see it on the regular broadcast, and Mick Foley tries to put it over like JBL's like cheering for Mike Awesome or something like that, because like oh, Mike Awesome Mike Awesome betrayed ECW, so that's why JBL is so like, I'm like, if you think for 1 second that JBL knows that Mike Awesome betrayed ECW, I got another thing coming for you. But he was literally, he's clearly mocking the fact that they're kicking out of everything. But by the way, that Mike Awesome Masato Tanaka match at One Night Stand is fantastic.
Oh yeah. If anybody wants to see what Tracy Smothers was like, go watch Heels. CM Punk, his character in that is 100% Tracy Smothers. And when I'm watching it, like when it was airing, I was just like, this is Tracy Smothers. This is just Tracy Smothers. And then after Tracy Smothers died, CM Punk said that he based his character from Heels on Tracy Smothers. So if you want to get an idea of what Tracy Smothers was like, why? Because everyone was saying like, oh, it's Terry Funk or someone like that. No, it's Tracy Smothers 100%. Watch that show. And it's on Netflix now. And if you watch it, it might get renewed. That's the end of my Heels rant.
I just saw somebody mention it in the chat, and I'm not 100% familiar with the story. Kevin, I feel like you might be. Is it like the Joey Styles knocked out JBL story?
I know that.
Do you guys know that story? Okay, Diz,
on the
what
plane?
exactly was the story?
It was it on the plane? It was a tribute to the troops.
Okay, right.
Yeah, it was a tribute to the troops, and it was just, JBL
Joey Styles was just filled with all that like righteous American soldier power, like
it was
to fight back.
It was one of those things where it's like the nerd gets picked on so much that eventually he just pulls back and punches the bully. I mean, it was out of an 80s teen movie. Like
so he 3 o'clock high JBL.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
No, Biff, you leave her alone. It was George McFly and Biff. That's what I picture. But the Joey Styles knocking him out.
I like to think, personally, because JBL always picked on Joey Styles. And in my mind's canon about this, I like to think that somebody was backstage with Joey Styles for weeks saying, this is how you throw a punch. This is how you do it.
Oh, no. Joey Styles is a Philadelphia boy. He knows how to throw a punch.
That's true.
He knows how to throw a punch. I love the idea.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. We have to end at 10 o'clock tonight. So we gotta move along. We gotta get to the Dr. Dave Schultz. Dave Schultz promo of the week, which I still, oh, by the way, JPS checking in with $2. Thank you so much. Says the Forsaken window has opened again. What did I call it? I think on the headlines, it calls it the frowned upon window. That's why I call it the frowned upon window. All right. So Dave Schultz, which we need like a jingle in for what's going for the this segment, but the Dave Schultz promo of the week. And by the way, you can see here on the side what my next 2 song parodies are going to be. I've got the Phineas and Ferb theme and the Pokemon theme up. Both songs are already written. You guys have heard them.
Yes, they're fantastic.
The Pokemon one might be my favorite thing I've ever written. That was Mrs. Movie Monster was like, hey, you should do one about Pokemon. And I was like, oh my God, Pokemon and Tony Khan have the same syllables. That was it.
Bingo.
All right, here we go. Dave Schultz is fed up of Canada.
I'd like to remind our fans in the Vancouver area again.
Who is this Frankenstein, by the way? This nerdy Frankenstein that is sitting here introducing this.
Who is that?
Isn't that Harry Carey being played by Will Ferrell? For Saturday Night Live.
He looks like the actual cartoon version of Egon Spangler from Ghostbusters. Remember when they made him blonde for the cartoon?
Again, the promoter Stu Hart presents a spectacular card at the Pacific Coliseum on Monday, November the 5th. Starting time 8 p.m. and you'll see all the stars of the World Wrestling Federation. Such stars as Pat Patterson, former U.S. heavyweight champion. Davey Boy Smith taking on Renee Gould.
Man, he's really talking me in the door.
He's a Stampede guy. That's what this has to be.
Gotta
right?
be.
Yeah.
Gotta be, right?
Tony Garea,
everything is dry in Stampede Wrestling.
New Zealand will try Bad News Allen.
Canada.
Everything except for the rat economy.
Yeah.
Calgary's own Bret Hart goes up against Ron Shaw. The Dynamite Kid returns, and he'll go against Paul Butcher Vachon. Rick Quick Draw McGraw takes on Dr. D. David Schultz.
Wasn't Quick Draw McGraw the Hanna-Barbera horse cowboy?
Yes. No, he was the dog, I think.
Okay.
No, that was Huckleberry Hound that you're thinking of.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
Yeah, Quick Draw McGraw was a horse.
I can tell you exactly what this is.
Babaloo.
I can tell you exactly what this WWE is doing. I mean, they didn't call them house show. Well, a show in Calgary, and it's basically a Stampede show where the Stampede guys fight WWE guys. That's why you don't recognize Quick Draw McGraw and these guys.
I mean, I would love to watch Dave Schultz fight a cartoon horse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
with Babaloo on the.
They both have guns. They could just have a shootout.
Wasn't it Babaloo? Because isn't that how Baba Booey became a thing?
Because he thought it was Baba. Yeah.
In a World Tag Team title match, Adrian Adonis and Dick Murdoch, the World Tag Team champions, will risk their title against the Wild Samoans. Sergeant Slaughter, the leader of the Cobra Corps, will go against the former World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Sheik.
Why have I never heard of the Cobra Corps? Because
I don't know, but that's an awesome name.
Sergeant Slaughter, of all people, in a thing called the Cobra Corps, is something that I want to be a part. By the way, it's a sin that he did not make in any of those G.I. Joe movies that Sergeant Slaughter wasn't like the Secretary of Defense or like the President of the United States or something like that. Like he should have had a Stan Lee type cameo. Come on, people.
He would have had to show up without that hat, so he would have showed his bald spot.
True. Kev, what were you saying?
I said, even in that shitbag Snake Eyes movie.
I know. Just put Sergeant Slaughter in there, would have made it better.
Oh, wait.
What
No.
a battle
It's not the Sergeant Slaughter. It's the G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter. Quick Draw McGraw's there. The G.I. Joe Sergeant Slaughter's there. This is a cartoon show.
it's cartoon All Stars to the rescue. Do you guys remember that? That after school special with like Winnie the Pooh and the Ninja Turtles and the Muppet Babies
trying to save crack pipe. Yeah, I remember.
Trying to work with Barbara Bush. Trying to work with Barbara Bush to save some kid from a pot smoke monster.
It's going to be. And topping it off, the match that everyone is talking about, the Battle of the Giants. Andre the French Giant goes against the Ugandan Giant, Kamala.
Oh, have you ever heard Andre called the French Giant? But how is this guy still talking?
But now let's bring in the man who's going against
Here we go.
Rick Quick Draw McGraw, a man who's no stranger to Canada, Dr. D. David Schultz.
I guess he was in Stampede. I guess that's why he's no stranger to Canada. Because I was about to be like, I don't think Dave Schultz would be like a real like connoisseur of all things Canadian. Like, I do enjoy a good poutine now and then.
Yeah.
Then Dr.
He
D,
was in the Stu Hart dungeon.
Where you going against
Sheer bootin', everyone.
Rick Quick Draw McGraw.
Are you through talking?
I'm through.
You ready to shut your mouth and listen now?
What kind of haircut is that?
I love how, as annoyed as we are with the fact that that he was like droning on and on like that, David Schultz is just as annoyed. Like very clear. Are you done talking?
With his ramen noodle haircut.
It literally does look like a wig.
With that perm, it's amazing.
What were you saying, Kev?
How about the doctor's perm?
Oh yes,
his soul glow.
You gotta be a real man to have a permanent in your hair like this.
I like to went to sleep. You sit out here with all this TV gaga, you can't get it out. It takes you 30 minutes to mention that man's name. Well, it don't take me that long. It don't take me that.
What? He's just shooting on this guy. It takes you 30 minutes to mention a man's name.
What's he gonna do about it?
I just want look. He enters in a bad mood.
Schultz and Dr. D, you've got your work cut out for you going against Rick Quick Draw McGraw.
Are you through talking?
I'm through.
You ready to shut your mouth and listen now?
All yours.
I like to went to sleep. You said out here with all
I'm out
this
of
TV
Coke.
gaga, you can't get it out. It takes you 30 minutes to mention that man's name. Well, it don't take me that long. It don't take me that long to whoop nobody. It don't take me that long to knock a woman plumb down, face down on the ground. It don't take me that long to kick her in the mouth.
What? No, absolutely no one. Absolutely no one. ... Dave Schultz. This is how I beat a woman.
I've been training with the greats. I've been training with Ike Turner. Al Mary ain't gonna keep on going when I'm done with her.
Oh God. Why would he give that factoid about how long it takes him to beat up a woman?
Bang, zoom, Alice. Ain't going to the moon. She's going to the grave.
Statute of limitations.
I ain't sending no one to the moon. What do I look like, Buzz Aldrin? Oh my god. He looks like he might be like hot high up like here. Like he's like stoned.
He looks like Friar Schultz.
Friar Schultz. Oh my god. Looks like his head is like his hair is all fries.
Me that long to whoop nobody. It don't take me that long to knock a woman plumb down, face down on the ground. It don't take me that long to kick her in the mouth. It don't take me that long because when I come to do business. I've always done business in Vancouver, BC. Anytime they had somebody they had to get rid of, they called Dr. D. Write me a letter, Dr. D, please come up here. We got somebody that's acting bad. We want you to take care of it. Always
What?
Come in.
Is he like an assassin for the Canadian government?
He gets fan mail from victims. Like, help me, Dr. D. Help me, Godfather.
Oh, hey there, Dave Schultz. It's me, Brett O'Toole up here in Canada. Hey, I was just wondering, my neighbor, he's been telling him, Bernie, you can't be putting your beer cans on the fence there. We share that fence, and he says, oh, sure, sorry about that. And then he just doesn't pick them up. So, Dr. D, I was wondering if you could maybe come on up here and then kind of show him what's what in there,
Can't you just I got a whip.
Canadian. I love the idea that Canadians are so polite that they can't actually beat people up on their own, that they have to call in Dave Schultz to do it for them. And I know that's not true because there are plenty of tough Canadians out there.
Oh yeah,
I took care of them. Everybody wanted to cry on my shoulder. Everybody wanted me to tote them around on my back.
I was the toughest man in Letterkenny. Get this guy a fucking puppers.
This guy looks like a judge from the 17th century.
It looks like a powder wig. You're right.
Yeah, like what the hell is? I can't get enough of it.
or like a judge in the UK now. Don't they still wear that?
Right? Yeah.
Remember.
Oh, you got this little
gunpowder, treason, and plot.
punk, first grade punk, man. You go down the street anywhere in Vancouver, in the back alleys, you can find punks like this every day. I see them. Canadian punks, what they are. They couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper sack. I think that's what they call it up there in Vancouver, BC.
What? A wet paper sack?
You never heard that? I heard that.
I've heard I couldn't fight your way out of a paper bag, but he's just Canadian punks.
Yeah,
right.
Up in these pots.
I'm just trying to picture Canadian punks chugging maple syrup and
I was walking down the back alleys of Vancouver and I found these Canadian street gangs.
See? And he's gonna climb in the ring with me. Well, that's a joke. That's a joke. I've been laughing ever since I hear.
They said, bonjour, Dr. D. And I said, I don't talk that Frenchy talk. I smack you in the mouth for saying banjo to me.
What kind of a twig are you?
They said, please, Dr. D, help me beat up my neighbor. So I came and I whooped his neighbor in less time than it takes me to whoop a woman. And they said, mercy. And I said, I don't give no one mercy. And then I whooped him too.
I hear it. I like to went to sleep while you was talking about it. Sounds like to me it's going to be a night at the Freakers Ball. You know what I mean? You got them all running around. People with spears. You got people, big fat people. You got little skinny
people with spears. There are people with spears in Canada.
The Wild Samoans this weekend at the whatever Canadian arena there is.
Oh, God, in Calgary.
People, you got them all, but you got Dr. D coming. I always done, but I want to tell you people, Vancouver, one thing: stay away from me. I don't want you to touch me. I don't want you to come near me. I don't want you to associate yourself with me at all.
Look, and I used to be fine with people in Canada touching me, and then one day this old man said, come on in my house down to my dungeon, and I'll teach you to wrestle. Now I don't let no one in Canada touch me. It's weird that Stu Hart brought young boys into a basement and talked them until they screamed. It's weird, folks.
Show them some
And I don't
discipline.
want you to be touching me like you just did. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm going to come do my thing, and I'm going to get back on the quickest airplane I can, get back to the United States of America, because I'm fed up to here with Canada and everything about it. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Dummy, can you talk? Well, why don't you say something instead of standing out here on national TV like Howdy Doody or somebody, waiting for somebody to stick your hand up your back and make you talk?
Hey!
Schultz is he's so in line with Gene Okerlund. He hopes that this guy says something just like Gene does. Like, we need to bounce off of each other.
He's doing the opposite of what always pisses him off with Okerlund, though. And he's still getting in the guy's face. Why aren't you making comments? How come you have not told me that I have to be putting you on yet?
Right. Why have I not guffawed?
You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Dumb.
Where does your mama live? Does she live with your daddy?
Can you talk?
In San Francisco.
Well, why don't you say something instead of standing out here on national TV like Howdy Doody or somebody, waiting for somebody to stick their hand up your back and make you talk?
Egon Spangler, cartoon Egon Spangler here has no idea what to do with this. He's like, I have absolutely no, because he knows that if he says the wrong thing, he's eating the palm of that man's hand.
None of these wrestlers ever talked to me before.
I just dryly say the name of the people that are going to be wrestling on the show.
Right.
You ever had a woman either, have you?
Oh, there you go. Back to the you ain't had no woman. That is his like free bird. Like I like you.
The original stuff, Twitter troll.
Yeah, once in a touch grass, loser.
Yeah, you're a virgin. I know where you live.
Drop in address.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I guess you can talk. I don't guess you ever had a woman either, have you?
Pacific Coliseum box office.
That's where I've got
That's
you.
Monday,
I had a woman.
November the 5th, 8 p.m. We'll see you there.
He just said, you haven't had a woman. I whooped a man and I slapped a woman. What is happening right now?
What is that? About slapping you?
Oh my God, that was insane. I love this man. I love that we have this segment. I love it.
I can't get over that haircut. I swear to God, like it's the most fascinating thing about the entire interview. Like I can't get out of your ramen noodle haircut.
Peggy Phil 73 says Doctor looks like a Quaker Oats mascot.
Yeah.
Apparently, we lost disc somewhere in the Dave Schultz promo of the week. Oh my goodness! All right, so ready to talk about really quickly about we've already talked about like the big stuff. So we're ready to talk about the Double or Nothing, the 5-year anniversary of AEW.
It lasted 5 years. Jesus Christ, this pay-per-view.
5 hours, 1 hour for every year this company's existence.
Right.
Oh, good Lord. Awful. What would you say if you had to pick match of the night?
Ooh, good question. I would have to say that I got to be honest with you. The Will Ospreay match was pretty damn good. Aside from the botched Doomsday device, that was probably the match that, you know, still sticks in my mind as like, you know, something memorable. Other than that, I mean, God damn, it was this. Not only was this pay-per-view a slog to get through, it was disjointed, and I wish this was on here because I wanted to talk to him about the Adam Cole spot. Like,
yeah,
so
what the hell happened to him? Did his house blow down?
I'll say it real quickly, and I know not a lot of people really caught on to this, but goddamn, Roderick Strong loses the match to Will Ospreay. He rolls out the ring. Ospreay celebrates. Then Adam Cole's music hits, and Adam Cole no-sells the fact that his team one of his members of the team just lost the belt. And I couldn't get over that fact. I was just like, that is ridiculous booking right there. He didn't even no eye to eye with Roderick Strong. He just came out and did his own thing. And then he got buried himself. It's incredible.
Yeah. So then MJF came out, right?
Yeah. MJF came out kind of
looking like Triple H.
Dude, that was incredible. Like, how did no one talk to him while he was at the arena? Like, hey, bro, you kind of look like Triple H. You might want to take off the jean fucking jacket. He would have looked a lot cooler with the jean jacket off and just the leather jacket, black pants. Now you're looking different.
Look, I got two options here. I brought two outfits. One is this jean jacket and leather jacket combo. The other one are these black trunks and this this vest that says 316 on it.
Yeah, right.
I guess go with the jean jacket.
Yeah, but the pay-per-view was like, I'll tell you, this is what my thoughts on the pay-per-view were, just real quickly. Simply, AEW has this unique, uncanny ability to show you everything independent pro wrestling has to offer, but at the very same time, gives you nothing to look forward to. It's the most incredible thing.
Oof, yeah. So MJF, go ahead, Kev.
I say you summed up 90% of indie wrestling. We're going to show you everything we have to offer, but leave you with no desire to ever see it again.
Right. And there were people who were in the audience. There were people in the audience who said the pay-per-view was too goddamn long. I mean, 5 hours to sit in one spot to watch the same match after match. Almost every match was a hardcore match. It was incredible.
Well, that was amazing.
You can tell the honeymoon period is over because how long has AEW been doing these monster fucking pay-per-views? Like, who has time for this shit? It's too much to want to pretend to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I was looking at you know what? I actually think I know how the MJF thing went down. I think they were like, Max, you probably shouldn't go out there dressed like Triple H, and he went. all right, let him go out there. Let him go, because that's what he does.
My leg
hurts. Boo.
If he came up with that idea himself, I think it was a terrible move. It's a shitty callback because it references Triple H's return back in 2002. But it's a shitty callback. You need to establish yourself. During his promo,
why don't you just come out dressed as Batman at that point?
Anything other than Triple fucking H.
Just come out in the Michael Keaton Batman rubber costume. Better yet, come out in the George Clooney one with the nipples on it.
Yeah, you already came out with that stupid ass devil gimmick. I mean, and you looked ridiculous then, and you look ridiculous now, trying to cosplay as Triple H.
But that tells you the mindset. Tells you the mindset and why this shit doesn't work. They're too busy being obsessed with people they have no business being obsessed with. They're too busy running comparisons to people they have no business comparing themselves to. Sorry, brother, you're not Triple H. You're not Triple H coming back at MSG. At that point, you think about the ride that you went on with the guy. The Click, DX, the massive fuse with The Rock and Foley, the 2-man power trip, and then you go away and you miss all this stuff that happened, and now you're back. Sorry, that's not you, Max. And again, I keep laughing. I'm like, bro, you're giving us this, I'm like, I don't understand the incessant need to have to mention the WWE
constantly. Just stand on your own, for the love of God. Just stop it.
You get this hideous tattoo that says "Bet on yourself," but let's be honest, we all know you didn't. You demanded an exorbitant amount of money and got laughed out of the building. So now you're there because Tony was stupid enough to give you even more money.
You know what? I cannot fault these guys for taking his money.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Signing for 8 years is a little much. Like him and Osprey signed with Tony for 8 years. Like that's insane to me.
Yeah, but Marv, they can't be bitching about like, oh, I get no TV time. No, bitch. You went into that company with nothing in your wallet, and now you got something in your wallet, and now you want to bitch about, oh, there's no TV time. Did you not know for the last 5 years this man has not really pushed anybody to the moon, has not really made any stars? You went in there with the sole purpose of getting some money out of it, and now you want TV time. Well, either or, pal, because that's how your boss is going to take it. You cannot have it both ways.
MJF is the one legitimate star that they made, and to be fair, he was made by Cody and Punk. Two guys who were booking their own stuff. Jericho leached onto him and nearly destroyed him with the music.
I'd like to ask everybody, what's MJF do from here? All he's going to be really is a scrambler, in my opinion. He's going to scramble up storylines. But other than that, he's not going to make himself. He's not going to get any bigger than he already is right now. Once again, Kev, Marv, it's all about the booker. You can bring in the Undertaker. You can bring in Roman Reigns. You can bring in Brock Lesnar. You can bring in Hulk Hogan, all these guys. Now you've got to bring them in with Tony Khan as the booker. It's not going to work.
You saw what happened. You saw what happened with Edge. We saw it clear as day. Edge,
and that motherfucker approved that spot. That's the other thing, Marv. I'm so sorry to step on your toes, but bro, they had a soon-to-be world champion, Will Ospreay, take a botched doomsday device within the first 10 minutes. They had Edge come off a 15-foot goddamn steel cage and break his tibia, and he's the TNT world champion.
You know what? Let's not say, because when you say break his tibia, it doesn't sound as serious as it is, because tibia is such a lot of people don't even know what a tibia is. He broke his leg.
Right. Yeah, he broke his leg. Doing that spot, in my view, from what I see, I don't see Tony Khan valuing his champions. I saw Jon Moxley throw around the IWGP Championship after the match like he was pissed off at something. It's just like, well, this is not how you cater to another promotion's title championship belt.
Look at how he handled his own world title. The Swerve was not the main event. Are you kidding me? You put that garbage match with the ratings killers and Tony Khan in the main event over your
library quiet. Exactly. The match was library quiet, and it's in the middle of the show. It's before the circus of a main event that comes afterwards, and there's a reason for that, because they know that shit was never going to get over being third or fourth match. I'm talking about the Young Bucks and the other clowns in that fucking match.
Hold on. Adam Lipinski just brought up a good. He says he fractured his shin bone. He didn't break his leg like he said. I agree. You know what?
He broke something. That particular spot didn't need to happen at all. Goddamn, play it safe.
It's something I wanted to rant about anyway, because I don't even understand why they were at this point in this feud anyway. Why are we in a cage already? The two of them hadn't even locked eyes on each other in the same ring. So why are you in a cage? It's like the whole purpose of match types and stipulations is so that it can add an extra emotional element to the story, because the babyface, even though we know the babyface can beat the heel keeps using some kind of a chicanery to get out of the result that we know that the people will see. So now the stipulation.
Now you're bringing the steel cage.
So that the babyface finally has the heel dead to rights. There was nothing in this feud that warranted a cage, let alone it being so desperate that Edge had to climb to the top of the cage and risk his body. And I was like, when I watched it, I'm like, oh my god, he just psycho-sitted himself. It
looks like he bitches out of jumping. Like it's almost like he decided.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Midway down that he didn't want to do this anymore, but gravity had already decided he was doing it.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Unlike when Macho Man did it and somehow wound up unhurt.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He would have been better. He would have been better off doing a slam, or excuse me, a body splash. I'm sorry.
Dude,
we all remember that, like that the Edge had the most beautiful splash of all time. It looked like he was maybe going for the double stomp. I don't know. It was
It would have been worse.
Idea. But at the end of the day, here's my thing. You are in a barbed wire cage match, okay? Why do you need a table?
Well, I was gonna say
why. The gimmick is the cage. And to get the table, you have to leave the cage, thus completely nullifying the point of the cage.
But even why do the table spot when Gangrel is going to be coming through the floor any minute? Yeah. It's unnecessary.
By the way, I do mark for Gangrel.
Yes, absolutely. But it's the usual AEW shit. We're gonna stack 12 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, and you're supposed to like it. And I'm like, I don't. What was the point of any of this? And now you've got another marquee star out on the shelf, and for quite a while. So now, what do you do with the TNT title? It's
tournament.
Yeah, right? It's so crazy because they put the title on Edge, and they put the title on Sasha Banks. And there's a definite reason for that. You're trying to swoon the people at Warner Brothers Discovery, like you know who these guys are, don't you? They're from the WWE. And now you've got this guy who hops off a goddamn cage, breaks his leg, and now you got to do another goddamn tournament. As far as my count goes, this is the 25th tournament that they've had since 2019, and it's just like
5 tournaments a year.
Jesus fucking Christmas.
But and look, by the way, the thing with the table, this is not a new thing for me. This is a thing that drives me insane whenever I see it done. When Punk and MJF did the dog collar match and they had the chairs and the tables and all that, I was like, why? The gimmick is the chain. That's all you need is the chain.
If Valentine and Roddy Piper can do it with just a chain, these guys can do it as well. I mean, goddamn, CM Punk, you emulated a Bret Hart match.
Yeah, and it was Punk and MJF. They could have done it with just the chain, and it would have been great. But, we gotta have chairs. We gotta have all the garbage. And not for nothing, your main event is a garbage furniture match. Why does Jericho need a table spot? Why does Edge need a table spot? Why does Jericho need a table spot to go over again on Hook and who was it, Shibata, or was it Why is Jericho, why does Jericho need to be beating everybody? Like, it's insane.
And almost got fucked up doing it. Once again, another stupid table spot where they all botch. And it's just like, there's one, of course, FTW is not recognized, but there again, you have another champion with a belt you're not taking care of. You're showing no value to any of your champions or their championships. It's crazy what happened last night.
AEW is where a talent's equity or potential equity goes to die. That is the meat and potatoes of it. You go there, and within weeks, you're just another toy in Tony's toy chest. If you happen to make it to a pay-per-view, and you don't try to kill yourself, you won't be on the next pay-per-view. If you're not one of his favorites, we're not going to see you for months. You get there, and within a matter of weeks, you have nothing to offer the greater wrestling world outside of the Meltzer weirdos.
Yeah, looks like we just lost Aewful. But Kev, you had the situation where I completely lost my train of thought after trying to process Aewful being gone. Where the hell was I going with this? Tony Khan involving himself in. There was no reason for Tony Khan to be involved. You could have easily done that weird flamethrower spot with or without Tony Khan's involvement. It was just dumb. It was just dumb.
It was a dumb spot. But even then, it's like, okay, great. Yes, listen, it's wrestling. Everybody gets involved at some point in time. Everybody does. It just is what it is. That's the nature of of the storytelling aspect of it. But there needs to be a purpose for it. Like to me, why couldn't Tony go to work all these last couple of weeks? Like, you weren't paralyzed. You went to the draft. You did a bunch of media that week.
He went to the draft and he was smiling like he was sitting there with a big bowl of ice cream.
So why couldn't you go to work? You know, there's I get it. The Young Bucks, their contracts are allegedly ironclad. Okay, well, you could have fined them. You could have fired Jack Perry. You could have fired their friends. There's
they said that the contract's for everyone in the elite. So if they put you in the elite, you can't be fired or something stupid like that. It's just
something dumb that we all know can't happen. It's like there's just so much, like there's too much for it to be discussed now because we just don't have enough time for it. I just don't fucking get it. It's not supposed to be this hard, and it's not this hard. It's not this hard. I just don't understand what they don't understand. And apparently, Jack Swagger's done with AEW.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's what it's saying here on Twitter.
That's got TNA written all over it.
Yeah.
Because WWE's gonna have no interest if he's still going. He might maybe he's calling it a career after taking Tony's money for 5 years. I don't know. Aewful, are you back now or are you like in limbo? I can't tell.
I am back.
Yeah. I had people tell me, you gotta watch this AEW Double or Nothing. It was the greatest show they've ever talking about how it's the greatest show. The putting thumbtacks on your shoe and super kicking people with it, like again, rescalation. Like where do you go from there? Jack Perry gets lit on fire and then comes back. Like we were talking about in the group chat, Aewful, and you actually almost defended AEW for a second, which shocked me because I was like, so he got lit on fire. I said, did he get lit on fire and then came back? And they're like, oh, you said, oh, well, his legs got lit on fire. And I said, yes. Well, when he came back, I presumed he was using his legs, which he had a finisher with his legs.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
if he had got lit on fire and they like carried him out, like he did a stretcher job to lead to some big match with him and Darby in the future, I would have been like, okay, it was a little over the top, but I get it. It's a cool spot. But for him to get back up and hit the finish and win the match, like, no, you got lit on fire. That's the thing that like that put the Fiend down, like, for the love of God.
Nothing made sense in that damn circus of a main event. I mean, I'm surprised it even made the air. Again, once you put your world champion in the second to last match. Now, by the way, like I said, it was library quiet during that Swerve Strickland Christian Cage match, and sure, there were a few high spots, but the crowd was subdued. But that's because they were there for 5 fucking hours, and there you have it. That it's the pay-per-view was too long, and it was a very disjointed pay-per-view. I saw some reviewers give it like 4 or 5 stars. This fucking pay-per-view, and I was just like, give me a break with that. It's too long. Tony Khan obviously doesn't know how to write. I could go on for days about this pay-per-view because I had to sit there and endure it. But it was an atrocious pay-per-view. Whoever said it was a good pay-per-view is obviously lying to you, to say the least.
Or they have a different view of wrestling than more of an old school fan does, where they think that wrestling is this silly and funny and like that Young Bucks kind of like mentality about wrestling. And there are, you know what, there are people that like that, and that's fine for them. I'm happy for them. It's just, it ain't for me.
Is it enough to sustain the business for the next 10 years? I think not.
It's barely enough to sustain them for the last 5 years. We've seen it.
Right.
Every NBA playoffs, we get a sneak preview for what the brand new bare minimum viewing intent of viewership is going to be. Because during the playoffs, that's when that's the number that shows you what the actual hardcore diehard fan base is, and it gets smaller every year. The drop off is undeniable. We know what it looks like. They only get a small percentage of their base that buys their pay-per-views. It's a pretty stable, it's a pretty stable base. I think I can't remember what the number was, but I want to say it's about maybe 25% of their regular viewing base. But out of under 700,000 people, it's nothing.
Right.
This
what
is
you're putting into the pay-per-view is not what you're getting out of the ticket sales and the concession and all that shit.
And how many they've been booted off of so many outlets. That's the thing we also don't want to talk about is that they're losing content partners left and right because they're not upholding their end of the bargain and generating numbers for these people. So it's
and everybody's talking about like, oh, they picked up the Zone. They've always had the Zone. The Zone was for the pay-per-views. Now it's just, I guess, it's some new added feature. I can't remember right off the top, but yeah, I mean, it's same provider. Nothing's changed, really.
It's like at this point, what are we really doing here? You're doing the same shit. Again, we're living the definition of insanity. We're doing the same shit, expecting a different result. This guy is where he is now with his lack of TV deal. When you have network partners, when you have investors, they give feedback because they want to know where their money's going, and they have, if they don't know, they have access to consultants who know. So they turn and go, hey, what's going on with the show? And their people are giving them feedback, and they're giving Tony that feedback. They're giving Tony that feedback, and he's just doing the same bullshit. And it's like they go, why are we going to give you even more money? The WBD, they're on the balls of their ass. They don't have money to give. Someone just fucked up a major deal for them. TNT has been for the last 22 years. Its whole identity has been built around having the NBA, and now they lost it. So it's like, well, now what do you got? Trying to be fucking crazy.
The homeless guy down the street called the AEW. That's who we'll give money to.
And this fucking delusion, this crazy ass fucking delusion that I keep seeing. Oh well, this is good for AEW. No, it's not.
No.
No one watches this fucking show, and we got to remember the first time the NBA audience saw AEW, and fucking Black Twitter lit their asses up. So the whole that Jericho was like, I gotta lose weight. Like they shamed him. They shamed him like he was a fucking 13-year-old girl.
Black Twitter.
It was like it was playing Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor when you shame the orc to lower their level.
Yeah,
like, I shame you.
This is what that industry needs. It needs shame.
Colin Taylor checking in with a $50 super chat.
Wow,
Holy
beautiful.
Hell. Thank you so much, Colin. I've lived in Japan for a dozen years. Believe me when I say Okada is a huge star over here, not just a wrestling star. Seeing him do this schlock is the equivalent of Doris Day doing bad Grindhouse. They're killing their Japanese superstar. You know what? That is something that I could see. I could definitely see that being a thing. Man, and thank you, Colin, so much. We always love having you here, and thank you for bringing us the. I would love at some point to hear your opinion on what the Japanese are saying about Assassin's Creed Shadows. But that is a topic for another day.
Right.
Oh,
go ahead, Kev, because you look so goddamn frustrated. You look
all
like
right.
you want to kill the
okay,
world.
we don't have time. We don't have time for a full rant. We got to wrap this up.
Listen, anybody who's ever been in a management position, who has ever seen a P&L, or if you work in attractions or at amusement or the movie theater, you understand it's the same shit. It's the same principles apply. You have to cater to a wide audience. You have to give that audience an experience that brings them back. These fucktards had decided to focus on the niche of a niche of a niche of a niche. They wanted the high income, high earner, extra intelligent West Coast viewer. No one gives a fuck. You think these celebrities give a shit? They were going to PWG to pop themselves because they were hanging out with a bunch of fucking smelly neckbeards in a shitty building while Mr. Belding played a general manager. It's like, what you thought this worked? Like Joe Manganiello's a wrestling fan. He just wanted to hang out on a Saturday. That doesn't mean that he's gonna watch your shitty show. It doesn't mean that he's gonna let his kids watch his kids watch your shitty show. Be like, your job is to appeal to everybody. They have failed. They have failed with every metric imaginable. And now here we are, fucking 5 years in, and it's the reverse. They are in retrenchment. They are shrinking. They're dying on the vine while this coked out lunatic wants to pretend everything's fucking fine. And you got these fucking sycophants on it. Well, this is great for them. That means no. They needed TNT to get the NBA because that's extra viewers and it's extra money from sponsorships that was guaranteed in TNT's pocket. So if they wanted to feel a little generous, they could potentially give it to AEW because, like, hey, listen, all you have to do is push our games because now you're free advertising for us. That's your job to do, organ grinding fucking monkey, because you can't do anything the fuck else right. And just put this fucking logo here at 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:26, and
this is not a full rant.
I'm just saying, like, it's fucking sickening, and I don't know why we're stuck here having to talk about this shit again. They set a
no, I get it.
It's so fucking dumb. I hate that I have to do this every week. I feel like I'm in hell being punished. AEW is so fucking bad. Oh, I can't.
Yes, welcome back. Just as we're about to end the show, East Side Reviews, thank you so much. Is watching Okada and AEW for Japanese fans is like watching Denzel Washington in a Tyler Perry movie. I gotta say that's probably pretty apropos. Man, and you know, just like Colin said, I just want to put him up there again for the $50 super chat, saying, you know, the equivalent Doris Day doing Bad Grindhouse. It is you know, just taking a superstar of a country and just, you know, not presenting him in a positive way. And, you know, Okada went from being the guy that was like the guy that you were supposed to, you know, he was the guy that does everything better than everyone that you know in the United States, and now he's just another guy, and it's sad. Like, it really is sad to see. But you know what, guy's making bank and his family's going to be, you know, taken care of. So I will never fault these guys for taking the money. Because you know what, you got your family.
Well, don't feel sad for them either.
You've got your children's financial future to look after, their education. If this guy is going to give you millions of dollars, take the money, take his millions. Make sure that you have a clause in your contract like the WCW guys did. You know, where if the company goes out of business, you're still getting paid out the rest of your contract.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Sorry that you I know you had a lot to say on this topic, but you know, there was a big issue with the internet in your area.
No, not in my area, worldwide. Starlink went out everywhere.
Well,
yeah.
Tony Khan knew what you were going to say, and he had a pair of hedge clippers to the Starlink cables trying to take it out.
Just a little tease for next week. Aewful said you shouldn't feel sorry for these guys. I think there is one person you should feel sorry for, and we'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's a good tease.
Nice.
That is a good tease, guys. Unfortunately we have to end here. I have another stream I got to hop on to. Normally we go to 11. Unfortunately, not able to do that tonight. I had made a prior engagement. I'm going to be hopping over to that Park Place to talk with them a little bit about the failure of the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, which I'm very, very excited to talk to them about. So check it out over there if you guys want to follow over. Thank you for joining us. We love having you guys for Tooney Talk Wrestling. Thank you, Kevin Apollo, for having a brain aneurysm in front of the audience for like the 5th week in a row. Thank you, Kevin Apollo's cat, for Aubrey Edwardsing her way into this conversation multiple times throughout the course of the show. But yeah, anything? Okay, Kev, anything you want to say to close out?
I know I fucking hate AEW. It's the Freddy Krueger of my peaceful existence.
Awful. Anything you got to add to before we close up shop?
AEW is great for the wrestling business.
Oh boy. Dis, what do you got to say to end out?
Wrestling should be fun, guys. I don't understand what the problem is.
Wrestling should be fun and silly and for everybody. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for another week of Tooney Talk Wrestling. We will see you guys next week, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like always, thank you to everyone who super chatted. We appreciate you guys so much. You guys are vital to the lifeblood of this channel. We got new Headlock headlines coming at the end of the week. We got 2 new song parodies that are written that are coming out soon. Those are going to drop on Patreon first. Patreon.com/ at patreon.com/TooneyTown Wrestling. Please check out Tooneytown TV, which launched today with our Kathleen Kennedy song parody over at youtube.com/@TooneyTown TV. Please follow everybody here: Aewful Wrestling, AEW Disciplinary, War Dog Apollo. I'm at Movie Marvin on Twitter, but you don't have to follow me on Twitter. I hate Twitter. I would not use it if I could get away with not using it, I would do it. Folks, thank you so much for Kevin Apollo, for Aewful Wrestling, for Disciplinary Committee, for our wonderful producer AEW Neckbeards. I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!